Hi and welcome to fleetmusic.blogspot.com. This is the fourth video in a series of videos where I've been looking at the stab in contemporary electronic music. In this video I'm going to look at producing three stabs, and they're going to be of the more kind of housey variety. So let's start on our first patch. This is our first patch. As you can see, it's judging by the algorithm down here, we've just got a bit of subtractive synthesis. The actual chord that we're playing is a G minor, and this is the G minor 7th. This is the G minor chord is here. So let's set about recreating it. So I'm going to go into our devices and pull in an operator. I will go over the effects that I have in the chain after the patch, but because of the time constraint in this video, I'm going to kind of gloss over them quite quickly. But let's get started. Let's get started in the actual sound itself. So as always, with the stab sound, you're going to have a quite short decay and immediate attack, and in this case, no sustain. I'm going to go over to this and select this algorithm. So we just got four oscillators working in isolation from one another. I'm going to keep the tuning of this oscillator at 1. I'm then going to bring up the level of oscillator B. I'm actually going to right click here and copy envelope from oscillator A. I'm going to increase coarse tuning of oscillator B. Let's go over to oscillator C, and let's start to introduce a bit more kind of brighter content into the sound. So again, I'm going to right click, copy envelope from oscillator A. I'm going to bring up the level to, let's say, -18, and I'm going to bring up the fine tuning to 990. The reason why will be clear in a moment. Just shorten the decays just so we only get a short segment of that brighter saw coming through. I'm then going to bring in an even brighter square digital wave, and I'm going to copy the envelope from oscillator C, and that's the basic kind of quality of the sound. And I'm also now going to go into the velocity parameter of each of the oscillators we're using and whack it up to 100. This will make it as velocity sensitive as possible. I'm then going to just introduce a really small bit of LFO. Just create a bit of subtle movement in the sound. And then I'm going to engage our filter. I'm going to drag down the cutoff to something like here, and then I'm going to assign the envelope. How's that corresponds? Okay. I'm just going to roll back the level of our sine, just to, because we only really want a thin kind of stab for this sound. So yeah, that's the first sound. Due to time constraints, I'm not going to go over the sound. I'm not going to go over the settings for the effects, but what I would suggest is that if you just hit pause now, you can then see what I've done. So you can copy the compressor settings, and here's the chorus. Then after the chorus we have a bit of reverb just to kind of give the sound a bit more presence, and then I dragged over the analog warmth effect, which comes with Live Suite, then a filter delay, and here all I'm doing is I'm I'm not actually using the multi-band dynamics as a dynamics processor. I'm actually just using its cutoffs. So I've whacked down the amount of compression down to 0, and I'm only using the low band. And after that, I have the utility, which is making everything mono. So you can hear that, and that just means that in combination with this other chain, which has another dynamics in it, which has everything but the low bands activated and at the same frequency, you're separating the sound so that everything below 300 is mono, and that's going to sit a lot better in your mix. And that's again an idea which you can use in lots of other bits of sound design. Okay, let's move on to stab 2. Clock's ticking. Stab 2 is a nice simple square affair. So, and I think it is, what's it playing? It's playing a G minor. So let's go over to this, to our, go into our devices, drag in an operator. So as before, start with the envelope. We're going to go, the first oscillator is going to be a square 8. We're going to change the algorithm to this one, turn off the oscillators that we're not using. We're going to actually bring down the chord setting to 0.5, but bring the fine tuning up. And what we're going to do, we're going to offset the fine tuning of the two oscillators we're using from one another, so we're going to end up with a broader, wider, more present sound. So I'm going to copy the envelope from oscillator A, bring the level up so it's audible, and change that to a square digital, and bring this up to a 10. So that mirrors a 10 sense that there's detuned on both oscillators. We're then going to engage our filter, bring it right down, and then we're going to basically ask our envelope to make up the difference. And then just play with the actual settings for the envelope to get the desired sound, really, because that's basically in the sound. A lot of the kind of quality really derives from the filter envelope, and that's the kind of key thing to bear in mind here. And as before, we're going to dial in a little bit of LFO just to thicken things slightly. And there's our sounds. You might want a bit of resonance. You might not. Equally, what I would suggest, go back into it, Apple A, select everything, group it up by pressing Apple G, and then just map some of these guys to the macros at the start of the instrument rack. So I would certainly map the level of oscillator B, map the envelope amount, and map the time. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go through this. So we've got a saturator with these settings. Reverb, I think it might be in the same settings as example before, I'm not sure. As I said, hit pause and see what I've done. We've got a filter here, just a bandpass sounds quite nice for the sounds. And there's lots of room for experimentation. I was just using the high pass here just to filter off the low end, really. Then a compressor and a bit of ping pong. So that's our second example, and now I'm going to quickly move on to our third and final example, which, as the name suggests, is a stab using a saw, actually a saw and a sine. And in this case, I have a sort of me actually writing an chord. I've just written a G within the MIDI clip, and then our MIDI device, the chord device here, is then building a chord on top of that. So we've got a minor third, a perfect fifth, and our minor seventh here. And I've done some mappings. And obviously one of the good things, or the great thing about the chord device, is that allows you, if you're a kind of bad keyboardist like I am, to actually play chords and only be able to use one finger, which is quite satisfying, so you don't feel a candid simpleton, which is good. Right, let's move on to the next step and actually show you guys how to produce it. So I'm going to drag in an analog into our rack, and then I'm going to let's just trigger that. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Let me turn that off. Let me trigger this. So I'm going to turn on oscillator 2, put that as a sine, and actually knock that down an octave. You may also want to detune both oscillators from one another. Let's just do that. It helps if they're comparable amounts. I'm then going to route everything up to filter 1 in the filter routing box, and then engage the low pass filter, bring down the cutoff, and then assign our envelope. I'm going to maybe bring up the cutoff a bit. I'm then going to have a quick look at the actual amplitude envelope. And that's it really. Find the kind of sweet spot of the filter. And in the previous example, well, in the one I did earlier, I had just mapped the cutoff, and also I have mapped the attack, decay, and sustain of the AMP1 shell. So you have a range of controls really. And let's quickly just in the remaining couple of minutes, let's go through. So we have an EQ3 just to cut off the low end. Simple delay, not actually used as a delay effect, but actually used to kind of give the sound a sense of chorus. So those are settings you might want to use for that. Saturator, reverb, and then our compressor just to bring it all together. And that's that. Okay, so those are your three kind of house stabs. The next video I'm going to be looking at some dub techno stabs. So yeah, check out fleetmusic.blogspot.com. Thanks for listening. Cheers.